I woke up to a cheerful text from my sister. Rest up, I'll water your plants. The building camera said something else. Two people entering my apartment at 1:17 a.m., laughing, holding champagne. I was home from surgery, drifting through pain meds, while my fiancé used my key and my sister used my robe. What they didn't know, I run ethics and risk at Westvale Systems. I don't scream, I document, and I end things, in public. My name is Ava Merritt. I am 31 years old. The pain is not a sharp thing. It is a dull, synthetic fog, courtesy of the Percocet prescribed for the arthroscopic surgery on my right knee. My leg, elevated on two stiff, medical-grade pillows, is immobilized in a thick wrapping of white gauze and stabilizers. I am in my apartment, 14B, at Halcyon Court. This is my sanctuary, a place of clean glass, pale gray furniture, and absolute order. It currently smells of sterile cotton and the expensive antiseptic cleaner the building management uses in the hallways. I am supposed to be healing. Babe, you just sleep. Darren Cole's voice, from 12 hours ago, echoes in the quiet. He had insisted, his hand on my clammy forehead, his voice, usually so smooth, he works in marketing, of course, was pitched with a perfect, performative concern. The meds will knock you out cold. I'll crash on the sofa. Keep an eye on things. Make sure you're safe. I remember nodding, grateful, the anesthesia still clinging to my thoughts. My hero, I mumbled. He took my spare keycard, the gray one, programmed for guests. Just in case, I'll let myself in late, won't even wake you. Safe. The word hangs in the apartment now. It feels metallic, incorrect. What woke me was not pain, but the 6:45 buzz of my phone. A text from my sister. Sable. Sable. Sleep well, big sis? Hope the knee isn't too bad. Something about the timing, the forced cheerfulness, pulls at a thread. I am a risk analyst. I don't believe in coincidence. I believe in correlated data. I ignore her text. I open the Halcyon Court app. Our building prides itself on integrated smart living, a feature I normally appreciate for its efficiency. Now, I see it for what it is, a silent, meticulous witness. My finger, steady, taps activity log. Entry log. Apartment 14B, 1:17 a.m. Keycard. Darren Cole, guest. Access granted. He said he would be late. This aligns with his statement. I tap Lobby Camera Archive. The feed is high definition. Time-stamped in the bottom right corner. 1:15 a.m. The main elevator doors slide open. Darren appears. He is laughing, looking back into the elevator. He holds the door. A woman steps out. She is wearing a dark coat I don't recognize, but the hair is unmistakable, that specific, expensive shade of caramel balayage. Sable Merritt, my sister. They are not touching. They are smart. They stand apart as they walk toward my corridor, but they are sharing a joke. He is holding a bottle of champagne, the good kind, the brand I save for closing major compliance cases. The camera angle shifts as they turn the corner. They disappear from the lobby feed. 1:17 a.m. The entry log matches the visual data. 2 individuals, 1 keycard. My home is an ecosystem of my own design, an IoT test bed. I pull up my own internal logs, the ones that run on my private server, not the building's. Living room sensor, PIR01, 1:17 a.m., motion detected. Expected. Living room sensor, PIR01, 1:18 a.m. Motion detected. Kitchen sensor, PIR02, 1:19 a.m. Motion detected. Champagne. Glasses. Then, silence for 40 minutes. I was in the guest room, as planned. The meds had me completely under. Darren knows I use the guest room post-surgery. The bed is lower, easier to access. My primary bedroom, my office, my sanctuary, is at the other end of the hall. Bedroom sensor, PR04, 2:03 a.m., motion detected. I frown. The log continues. bedroom sensor, PIR04, 204A. Motion detected, bedroom sensor, PIR04, 207A. Motion detected, bedroom sensor, PIR04, 209AM. Motion detected. This is not the pattern of someone peeking in. This is a continuous stream of activations. This is activity. I cross-reference the home hub, the smart speaker on my bedside table, device log, Merlin BR, bedroom, 202 AM, volume set to 0 via remote IP, 203A. Microphone muted via Darren Cole's iPhone application. They muted the mic. They muted the mic in my bedroom while I slept, drugged and helpless, 20 feet away. The data does not scream. It simply presents itself. A neat, sequential, time-stamped violation. The data stream is not finished. My email. I have a filter for all receipts. I search the archive for the last 12 hours. Ping, a confirmation from the Night Owl Bistro, a 24-hour luxury delivery service. Order time, 3:11 a.m. Delivery address, Halcyon Court. Items, truffle fries, large, 2, lobster rolls, 1, Godiva cheesecake, customer name, D&S. Payment, Visa. It's my credit card, the one I gave Darren for emergencies. They ate, they celebrated, in my living room, using my money, after using my bed, the sheer, unadulterated arrogance of it. D&S. They weren't hiding, they were branding. I download the invoice, PDF, save. I return to the Halcyon app, entry log, apartment 14B, 6:42 a.m. Keycard, Darren Cole, guest, exit, granted. I pull the lobby camera feed for that timestamp, 6:44 a.m. The elevator doors open. Sable emerges first. She is wearing sunglasses indoors, and she is wearing my beige cashmere robe, the one I saved for 3 months to buy. Darren follows, carrying his shoes. He looks tired. He looks smug. He leans in, kisses her. A quick proprietary press of lips against the elevator wall, just out of sight of the main lobby, but perfectly, disastrously framed by the elevator's internal camera. The doors close. My phone, sitting on the desk, feels heavy. 6:45 a.m. Sable. Sleep well? Big sis? Hope the knee isn't too bad. Heart emoji. The text is not concern. It is an alibi. It is a taunt. It is a confession. I do not throw the phone. I do not cry. My pulse, according to my watch, is 72 BPM. Steady, at Westvale Systems, when we detect a security breach, we do not alarm the intruders. We isolate their access. We document their methodology, and we build the case. Crying is noise. This situation requires signal. I push myself up, gripping the aluminum crutches. The learning curve has been steep, but I am stable. I maneuver to my desk. My bad leg throbs, a dull counter rhythm to the clicking of the keyboard. Action item 1. Secure the data chain of custody. I open the Halcyon portal on my desktop. File, Export Activity Log, 14B. Last 24 hours. PDF. Authenticated. I open my Home Hub admin panel. Export device logs. All devices. Last 24 hours. CSV. I log into my email. Save the receipt. PDF. I log into the resident portal and file a formal request. Request Media Archive. Lobby Camera, 01. Elevator, 03. Time codes, 1:15 to 1:20 a.m., 6:40, 6:45 a. This requires manager approval, which is fine. It creates a third-party witness to the data pull. I compile the logs, the CSV, the invoice, and the screenshots into a single, encrypted zip file. I open a terminal. I run a SHA-256 hash check on the file, A34F9C01, B891D4E2. I screenshot the hash result. I upload the zip file to my private, encrypted cloud storage, the one registered under a pseudonym I use for vulnerability testing. I email a copy of the hash string to my personal lawyer with the subject line, Contingency File A, do not open, 2024, 10-24. This entire process takes 15 minutes. My breathing is even. My hands do not shake. This is what I do. I am an auditor. The digital trail is secure, but they are sloppy. They are arrogant, and arrogance always leaves a physical trace. I swing myself on the crutches, back to the living room. It looks clean. Darren is meticulous. He would have cleaned up. I check the kitchen. 2 champagne flutes, washed and back in the cabinet, but they are still damp. He used the 40-minute quick wash cycle, the trash. He emptied it on his way out. Smart. I move to the sofa, the gray wool cushions. One of them is slightly askew, the seam not aligned with the frame. I use the end of one crutch to lift it. There, in the crease of the upholstery, is my engagement ring. I stop. My breath catches. This, I did not anticipate. It is a 2-carat, VVS1 Asher cut, clean, architectural, unflinching, a ring for a woman who audits risk. She had taken it off. I lean closer, my knee screaming in protest. Next to it, snagged on the weave of the fabric, is a single strand of hair. It is not my dark brown. It is long. It is caramel. Sable's. She took my ring off my finger. No, it was on the nightstand. She took my ring, in my apartment, to sleep with my fiancé, in my bed. My pulse jumps. 85 BPM. I exhale, slowly, from my desk. I retrieve a sterile evidence bag from my work kit. I keep them for chain of custody drills. Using tweezers from my first aid kit, I pick up the hair. I seal it in the bag. Using a latex glove, I pick up the ring. It goes into a separate bag. I place both bags in my desk drawer and lock it. I pivot on my good leg, maneuvering back to the desk chair. The pain in my knee is a sharp, bright, clarifying signal, cutting through the last of the medication's fog. The betrayal is total. It is not just sex. It is symbolic. The ring, the robe, the champagne, the D and S on the receipt. They were not just having an affair. They were auditioning my life. They think I am the obstacle, the cold, logical older sister, the rigid, by-the-book fiancé. They assume my reaction will be emotional. They expect tears. They expect screaming matches. They expect a family intervention. Sable is banking on our mother weeping. Ava, be the bigger person. She's your sister. Darren is banking on minimizing. It was a mistake. I was drunk. We were celebrating your recovery. It meant nothing. They are expecting a domestic dispute. I open a new moleskin notebook, the kind with gridded paper. I take my favorite pen, a 0.5mm black gel. I sit straight, my back rigid, my crutches resting against the wall. On the first clean page, I write 2 sentences. No arguments. The evidence is bagged. The digital logs are hashed and secured. My knee throbs, a hot, dull ache that grounds me. The fog of the pain medication has been burned away by the bright, cold clarity of the data. This wasn't an impulse. This was a merger. D and S. In my family, we all had roles. My mother, a woman who valued appearances above all else, was the CEO of the Merit brand. Sable was her star product. Sable just has light, she would say, her voice soft with adoration. Watching my sister, then 16, dramatically reading poetry for guests. She just feels things so deeply. She's the one who will rescue this family's image. Sable was the passion, the creativity, the feeling. I was the fixer. Ava, the sink is making that noise again. Be a dear. Ava, your father's taxes. Can you just look them over? You're so good with the details. Ava, Sable is heartbroken. That boy. Can you go talk to her? You always know what to do. Sable was the brand. I was the warranty department, the fine print, the one you call when the glittering facade cracks and the machinery breaks down. I was necessary, but I was never celebrated. I was just reliable. Darren Cole understood this dynamic from the moment he walked into our parents' home. He was a freelance marketing consultant, which meant he lived on charm, charisma, and a vocabulary pulled from corporate wellness retreats. He was perfectly curated. He knew, as my father gratefully noted, how to score points. He didn't just charm me, he targeted my family. He spent the first dinner listening, really listening, as my mother lamented the lack of appreciation for beauty in the world. That's why Sable is such a rare talent, Darren had said, his voice smooth as velvet. My sister, beside him, had beamed. She is pure, unfiltered creativity. Then he turned to me, taking my hand over the table. And Ava, he'd said, his eyes locking on mine, is the one who builds the strong, safe world where creativity is even possible. It was brilliant. He had validated my mother's entire worldview. He'd defined Sable as the prize and me as the infrastructure, and made it sound like a compliment. He wasn't just joining the family. He was pitching himself as the perfect brand manager. My mother loved him inside of 30 minutes. He just gets us, Ava, she'd gushed. He did. He got that we were a system of image and maintenance, and he, the slick marketer, saw an opening. I look at the clear plastic bag on my desk, the 2-carat Asher-cut diamond. He hadn't proposed to me. He'd proposed to my 810 credit score, my benefits package at Westvale Systems, my predictable, compliant nature, and my glass-walled apartment at Halcyon Court. I wasn't his partner. I was his anchor investor. The small violations started, as they always do, with Sable. "Big sis, you're light. It's insane," she'd text. "Just need to borrow the apartment for an hour. Shooting a new lookbook for the gram. You won't even know I'm there." An hour would become 5. I'd come home from work to find my minimalist living room transformed, racks of fast fashion clothing, 3 sweating strangers I didn't know, and the smell of aerosol hairspray clinging to my curtains. My sofa, the pale gray one, would be displaced. And something would be gone. The first time, it was a bottle of my Byredo perfume. Oh my God, it must have rolled into my makeup bag. So weird. The second time, a silk pillowcase. It got mixed up with the fabrics. My bad. The third time, my favorite cashmere throw. Silence. When I asked, she'd snapped. "God, Ava, it's just a thing. Why are you always counting everything?" She wasn't just borrowing, she was testing. She was seeing how much of my territory she could claim before I triggered an alarm, every time. I'd get the follow-up call from our mother. "Ava, don't be so cold. She's your sister. It's just stuff." I look at the 6:44 a.m. camera log. Sable, walking into the elevator, wrapped in my beige cashmere robe. Not a mistake. Not mixed up. It was an acquisition. A trophy. The final, blatant upgrade from the throw. Then, 6 months ago, the violations escalated from small-time theft to a formal pitch. They came to my apartment as a team. Darren, with his laptop. Sable, with a box of ridiculously expensive macarons. They sat on my sofa, that sofa. "Ava," Darren began, using his Series A voice. "We're leveling up." "We're launching," Sable interrupted, vibrating with excitement. "Sable & Co. It's not just influencing anymore. It's a lifestyle brand." The PowerPoint deck was slick. Athleisure, skincare, curated home goods. It was all aesthetics. No balance sheet. Then came the ask. "We're this close," Darren said, leaning forward, all feigned sincerity. "The investors are ready, but they want to see more skin in the game from the founders. The bank will give us the bridge loan, $150,000. But, given we're a new entity, you need a guarantor," I finished. "Just a formality," Sable chirped, pushing the macarons toward me. I didn't look at them. I looked at the loan application he'd placed on my coffee table. No, I said. Their smiles didn't drop, but they froze. Ava, babe, it's a sure thing. Darren tried, his voice still smooth, but with an edge. The projections are solid. I'm the head of ethics and risk at Westvale. Darren, my entire career is built on mitigating exposure, a startup with 2 principles, 0 tangible assets, and no revenue stream is not a sure thing. It is the definition of material risk. Sable's face hardened. The bubbly brand evaporated. It's family, Ava. That's supposed to mean something. It does, I replied, standing up, my knees healthy then. It means this is a textbook ethical conflict of interest. I cannot financially entangle my personal assets with a relative's unproven venture. The answer is no. Darren's mask slipped. He closed his laptop with a sharp snap. She's just cold. Sable. That's her answer for everything. She's all rules. No people. Cold. The word they used when my boundaries held firm. My compliance was cold. My refusal to be leveraged was cold. I see it now. Looking at the 311 A.M. food delivery receipt, D and S. They've been an entity for a long time. This isn't a new affair. This is a hostile takeover that failed, and now they're liquidating the assets. The ask didn't stop. Of course, it just mutated. 2 months ago, I found a grant application packet in my mailbox, addressed to Sable and Koe at my apartment, 14B Halcyon Court. I called her. You're using my address on a legal document. Oh, that. It was just for the female founder grant. They needed a studio brand address, and yours is so professional. Ava, it's not a big deal. It is. Sable, it's mail fraud. This is not your studio. You do not operate a business here. God, why do you have to make everything sound like a crime? You're just trying to hold me back. I sent a certified letter to the building management clarifying that no commercial entity named Sable & Coes was registered to my unit and that all mail for it should be returned to sender. Then came Darren's attempt. He wanted my name, my title, my Westvale system signature. He brought it up over dinner, at a restaurant, in public. These VCs, babe, they're old school. They just need to know I'm solid. A letter of recommendation from you? Ava Merritt, head of ethics and risk. That's golden. I can't. I've never seen your books. I'm not on your advisory board. I only know you as my fiancé. That's the point. It shows trust. No, I said, putting my fork down. It shows a gross violation of my company's code of conduct. I will not use my professional standing to endorse a relative's business. It is non-negotiable. He stared at me, his face blank. You know, that's your problem, he finally said, throwing his napkin on the table. This is why you'll never be more than what you are. You're stuck in your little rule book. You don't know how to win. I sit at my desk, the pain in my knee a dull, insistent drum. I wasn't the girlfriend. I wasn't the sister. I was the firewall. I was the one who said no. I was the locked door. I was the compliance officer they couldn't charm, bully, or bypass. They called me cold. They called me stuck. They called me transactional. I look at the 1:17 a.m. entry log, the 2:03 a.m. microphone mute, the 6:44 a.m. video of my sister wearing my robe, kissing my fiancé. This wasn't an act of passion. This was an act of punitive policy. This was a retaliation. They were angry at my boundaries, so they decided to prove that my boundaries didn't exist. They didn't just cross the line. They held a party on it. They used my apartment, the very asset I refused to leverage for them, as the venue. They used my key, my bed, my robe, and my money to seal their new partnership. They think this is a messy, emotional, private family drama. They are counting on me to react like the fixer. They expect me to scream, to cry, to call our mother and beg for an explanation. Sable's 6:45 a.m. text is the opening move. She expects me to reply. What did you do? They are expecting a warranty claim, a tearful private negotiation where I'm told, "It's just stuff." They have fundamentally misread the situation. This is not a family issue. This is a compliance failure. My revenge will not be an accusation. It will be an audit report, and I will not deliver it to our mother. I will deliver it to the one audience they are so desperate to impress. The audience that, like me, has zero tolerance for fraud. My notebook is open. The black 0.5mm gel pen is in my hand. On the first page, the only words are my mission statement. No arguments, staging. This is no longer a personal crisis. It is a special project. I am at my desk, my immobilized leg propped up on a stool. The apartment is silent, save for the hum of the air purifier and the precise, quiet clicks of my keyboard. I open a new encrypted volume on my personal hard drive, the one I use for off-the-books vulnerability assessments. I create a master directory. Case file, 14B 2024, 124, project name, in plain view. I define the parameters. Objective: to establish a factual, immutable, and non-negotiable timeline of events occurring between 1:17 am and 6:45 am on October 24th. The objective is not to prove infidelity. That is a subjective conclusion. The objective is to prove unauthorized access, breach of building policy, and breach of contractual agreement. Using a verifiable data chain of custody, stakeholders, hostile, Darren Cole, FIANCÉ, guest keycard holder, Sable Merritt, unauthorized guest, stakeholders, neutral leverage, Halcyon Court Building Management, Associated Financial Institutions, primary asset holder, Ava Merritt. Phase 1. Data aggregation and authentication. The evidence I gathered in the first hour was the raw data stream. It was discovery. Now, I must formalize it, make it admissible, and render it undeniable. My Halcyon app log is a convenience. A screenshot is weak. I need the certified original. I open my email client. 2. management@halcyoncourt.com. Subject: Formal Resident Media Request. Unit 14B. Lease ID 889. Dear Building Management, pursuant to Section 11.4 of my Resident Lease Agreement, right to access security media for personal safety and auditing, I am formally requesting certified time-stamped copies of security footage from the following cameras and time codes. Lobby camera, CAM01, 1:15 a.m., 1:20 a.m. Elevator 3, CAM-E3 internal, 1:15 a.m., 1:20 a.m. Corridor 14, CAM-C14, 1:16 a.m., 1:18 a.m. Lobby camera, CAM-01, 6:40 a.m., 6:45 a.m. Elevator 3, CAM-E3 internal, 6:40 a.m., 6:45 a.m. Additionally, please provide a certified export of the keycard access log for Unit 14B from 12 a.m. to 7 a.m. today, October 24. Please treat this as a formal safety and security matter. Thank you. Ava Merritt, 14B. I hit send. This action creates a third-party record. Management is now a witness to the data pull. While I wait, I move to the next layer, my internal network. The IoT data, the bedroom sensors, the muted mic, is damning, but it's on my server. They could claim I manipulated it. I need to tie their physical devices to my space. I log into my router's admin panel. I am a professional. My router logs every device that connects, authenticates, or even attempts to connect. I export the connection log, and I find it 1:18 Connection established. Darren's iPhone. MAC address 3CA9F41E8B01. Device authenticated. Sable laptop. MAC address 8E11B2A744C9. She brought her laptop. This is a digital fingerprint. A media access control MAC address is a unique hardware identifier. It is not an IP address, which can be masked. It is the device's serial number, broadcast over Wi-Fi. His specific phone and her specific laptop were inside my network. 1 minute after the keycard swipe, I export the log, router log oct24 text. Phase 2. Evidence preservation. An email notification pings. It's the building manager. He is efficient. Attachment. 14B logs. Certified. Zip. The body of the email is brief. Ms. Merritt. Attachments as requested. The files are timestamped and certified by our system administrator. Please let us know if any further action is required. I download the zip. Inside are 5 MP4 files and 1 authenticated PDF. I review them. The quality is perfect. The kiss in the elevator is clear. Sable, in my robe, is unmistakable. Now, I build the vault. I create a new, military-grade encrypted container. Into this digital safe, I place every single file, naming them with protocol-level precision. Evid001, Halcyon Entry Log Auth, PDF. Shows Darren's key at 1:17 a.m. and 6:42 a.m. Evid002, Cam Lobby 1:16 a.m. Or shows Darren and Sable entering. Evid003, Cam Elevator 6:44 a.m. MP4 shows Darren and Sable exiting. The kiss, the robe. Evid004, Kia, Invoice Night Owl 3, 11 a.m. PDF, the D&S, receipt. Evid05, router connection log. TXT, MAC addresses for both devices. Evid06, internal IoT sensor log. The 203A. Bedroom activity. Evid007, internal smart hub log. The 203AM microphone mute. Evid008 SMS Sable 6:45 a.m. PNG. The alibi text. Evid009 photo physical ring. JPG. The ring found in the sofa. Evid010 photo physical hair. JPG. The caramel hair found in the sofa. I seal the encrypted container. This is where amateurs fail. They save the file. I make it immutable. I upload the entire container to a worm-compliant cloud storage service. Worm. Write once. Read many. Once uploaded. That file cannot be altered. It cannot be edited. It cannot even be deleted by me for a set period. It is now a fixed, permanent record. I run the SHA-256 checksum on the final. Uploaded container. Checksum. B4D1. C9F3. I screenshot the resulting hash. This hash is the mathematical proof that the contents of that vault are exactly as they were at this moment. Any attempt to tamper with a single pixel in a single screenshot would result in a completely different hash. The evidence is now preserved. The chain of custody is clean. Phase 3. Legal and policy framework. This is not just about emotion. It is about jurisdiction. I pull my digital copy of the Halcyon Court lease agreement. I search for the key terms. Section 4.1. Occupancy. The unit is to be occupied solely by the lessee, Ava Merritt. Section 7.3. Guests. Lessee is permitted guests. However, any guest staying in the unit for a period exceeding 4 hours between 12:00 A and 6:00 A is classified as an overnight guest and must be registered with building management 24 hours in advance. Section 7.4. Breach. Failure to register an overnight guest constitutes a material breach of this agreement. They didn't just break my trust, they broke my lease. Sable was an unauthorized, unregistered overnight guest. Darren facilitated the breach. This is a contractual violation. This is the leverage. Now, I check my own compliance. I look at my closed Westvale Systems laptop. I am tempted. My corporate-issued machine has access to forensic software that could pull deleted data from their social media accounts, cross-reference their known associates. I do not touch it. This is a firewall, a conflict of interest barrier. I will not use one shred of company property, company time, or company software. My case must be perfectly clean. If I use my professional power for a personal matter, I give them a defense. They could claim I, the ethics chief, am the one who acted unethically. This will be won using only my personal data, my personal assets, and publicly available policy. My hands must be spotless. Phase 4. Pre-mortem, the final step of any project plan. I open a new document. Anticipated denial scenarios and rebuttals. I must anticipate their lies. Lie 1. It was a mistake. We were drunk. It meant nothing. Rebuttal. Evid 006, IoT log, and Evid 007, mic mute, show clear intent and consciousness at 2:03 A. Evid 004, food order shows coherence and coordination at 3:11 A. This was not a mistake, it was a multi-hour coordinated event. Lie 2. Sable was just dropping me off. She never stayed. Rebuttal. Evid 005. Router log. Shows her laptop connected to the Wi-Fi for over 5 hours. Evid 003. Elevator cam. Shows her exiting with Darren at 6:44 a.m., wearing my robe. Lie 3. Sable was upset. I was just comforting her. We slept on the couch. Rebuttal. Evid 006. IoT log. Shows continuous sensor activation in the master bedroom for over an hour, not the living room. Evid 009, ring, and Evid 010, hair, provide physical evidence of activity in the living room after the bedroom, likely when they removed the ring. Lie 4. The nuclear option. Ava is crazy, vindictive. She faked all this data. Rebuttal. Evid 001, logs, and Evid 003, video, are certified third-party files provided by Halcyon Management. The worm upload and SHA-256 hash prove the master file has not been tampered with since its creation. The data is objective. I save the document. I make the entire evidence directory read-only. There will be no negotiation. There will be no talking it out. I have the facts. I have the receipts. I have the contractual breach. I look at the project title I typed at the beginning. In plain view. That is exactly how this will end. Not in a shadowed fight, but in the brightest, most public light I can engineer. The project plan is complete. The compliance engine is running. My case file, project, in plain view, is complete. The encrypted container is uploaded. The hash key logged. The structure of the betrayal is documented, time-stamped, and secured. It is 11:00 A. The adrenaline from the initial discovery has subsided, replaced by the dull, throbbing ache in my knee. I am a risk manager who has just completed a post-incident report. Now, the cleanup protocol begins. I open my financial dashboard. I have already locked the emergency Visa card, ending in 4491, that Darren used for the 3:11 a.m. food order. I am about to file the formal fraud claim. Before I do, I scan my inbox for any other receipts associated with that card. I search my email. Visa 4491. The first result is the Night Owl Bistro receipt, which I have already tagged as Evid 004. The second result is an automated email from my bank, time-stamped 10:45 a.m. The subject line is, Notification, a refund has been processed. I frown. I have not returned anything. I open it. Dear Ava Merritt, a refund in the amount of $4.19 has been issued to your Visa ending in 4491. Merchant, Sable & Co., via Stripe. The room, which had been silent, suddenly feels pressurized. Sable & Co., my card. This is new data. A refund implies a purchase. And why $4.19? It's an irregular, specific amount. It feels like the tail end of a transaction, a final reconciliation. I cancel the fraud claim I was about to file. I cannot report the card stolen if I am to understand its recent history. I unlock the card for 5 minutes. I log directly into the credit card's online portal. I pull the full, itemized statement for the last 30 days. There it is, the 3:11 a.m. charge from Night Owl Bistro, 92.50 cents. But that is not all. I scroll down. I keep scrolling. My surgery was on October 10th. For the 2 weeks I've been in recovery, groggy, reliant on him, believing I was safe, this card has been busy. October 11th. Facebook Ad Manager, $2,500. October 11th. Google Ads, $50. October 12th. Instagram Promotions, $1,500. October 13th. Facebook Ad Manager, $4,500. There are 17 separate transactions, all small, all coded to social media advertising, all for Sable and Kodos. They are test buys. A/B, testing ad creative. They were using my line of credit, my emergency card, as their seed capital. He didn't just take my money for a celebratory meal with my sister. He had been systematically siphoning it for 2 weeks to build their brand. The $419 refund was likely an automated credit from Stripe for a failed ad spend. The betrayal is no longer a single, explosive event. It is a root system. It is deep. It is organized. This isn't just an affair. This is a business plan. Sable & Co. I search my inbox again, this time for the brand name. The Stripe refund notification is there, but there is another email from Darren, sent 3 weeks ago on October 2nd. Subject: Deck V3. For review. I never opened it. It came in during a major compliance audit at Westvale. I saw his name, assumed it was wedding-related, a vendor comparison, a playlist, and flagged it to read later. I never did. I click it open. It contains 1 line of text. Sable, here's the final. Sending to the first angel round tonight. There are 2 attachments. Sablex Darren Pitch V3 Final. PDF female/founder. Grant app, Sable, submitted. PDF. My hand is so steady it looks disconnected from my body. I open the pitch deck first. It is slick, full of his signature marketing bullshit. Synergy, authenticity, curated lifestyle, Q4 growth hacking. And then, the assets slide. My living room. The photo is professional, wide-angled, my gray sofa, my floor-to-ceiling windows, my view of the city. The caption reads, Flagship Content Studio, located in Halcyon Court. Studio. I click to the next slide. Product verticals. There is a flat lay of skincare products. On my white marble kitchen island, I click again. Brand atmosphere. A shot of Sable, laughing, holding a coffee mug, sitting on my window seat. They hadn't just borrowed my apartment for a few lookbook shoots. They had documented it, asset stripped it, and packaged it as their own. They were pitching my home as their primary business asset. My blood is cold. I close the deck. I open the second file. Female/founder grant app. Sable, submitted. PDF. It's the application for a $50,000 grant I had only glimpsed in my mailbox. This is the final, submitted version. Founder CEO, Sable Merritt. Business address, 14B. Halcyon Court. It's not a mistake. It's not an oops. It is a deliberate, calculated, fraudulent statement on a legal grant application. This is wire fraud. They were not just sleeping together, they were co-conspirators. And the night of the betrayal. It wasn't a celebration that got out of hand. It was a board meeting. It was D&S, the name on the 3:11 a.m. receipt, toasting their new venture. A new thought strikes me, a terrible, clarifying thought. Sable is an influencer. She documents everything. I go to her Instagram profile. It's public, of course, a curated feed of authentic moments. I scroll back through her posts. Nothing. I check her stories. Nothing. But then I see it. A reel posted at 11:30 p.m. on October 23rd, just hours before they came here. The caption, "Sneak Peek, celebrating a huge new chapter for @Sable & Co. The late nights are worth it. Stay tuned. Dan's founder, Life Big News." I play the video. It's a cinematic B-roll, a close-up of a champagne bottle being opened, a shot of truffle fries in a bistro box, a slow-motion clip of Sable, laughing, raising her glass to the camera, the food. It's the exact order from Night Owl Bistro. This video was filmed here, in my apartment, at 3:15 a.m. They didn't just eat. They created marketing content from the act of betrayal itself. I pause the video. I look closer. The shot of Sable raising her glass. She is on my sofa, in the background, the dark glass of my media cabinet. I zoom in, and there, in the reflection, distorted, but undeniable, Darren. He isn't toasting with her. He is holding his iPhone, camera on, filming her. He is not just a participant. He is the director, the producer. He was filming behind-the-scenes content for their brand, using my apartment as the set, my money for the props, while his post-operative fiancée was unconscious in the next room. The iceberg. This is the 90% below the water. The affair is nothing. The affair is a symptom. The disease is this parasitic, calculated, financial violation, this absolute, bottomless audacity. My reaction is immediate. It is not emotional. It is operational. This is no longer an internal affairs matter. This is a high-security breach with financial and legal exposure. Protocol. Containment. I grab my laptop. First, the locks. I open the Halcyon Court app. Resident portal. Guest access. Darren Cole. Guest. I tap the revoke button. A confirmation. Guest keycard, 88B, is now deactivated. His plastic key is useless. Second, my apartment's smart lock. I open the app. Users. Darren Cole, fiancé. I swipe left. Delete user. His 6-digit PIN code is gone. Third, the network. I log into my router's admin panel. Device list. Darren's iPhone. Mac, 3C, A9, F4 1E, 8B01. I click Block MAC address. Device list. Sable laptop. Mac, 8E11, B2A7, 44C9. I click Block MAC address. They cannot get in my door. They cannot get on my Wi-Fi. They are digitally excised from my premises. As a final measure, I create a new automation rule on my network. Trigger. New, unrecognized, MAC address. Connection attempt. Action. Send push. Notification. High priority. I will know if they even try to park in the street and connect. Now the bank. I call the number on the back of my card. I bypass the automated system. Fraud department. Yes, I say, and my voice is perfectly level. I am reporting a series of unauthorized, fraudulent charges. Please get a pen. I have 17 transaction dates and merchant codes. I read them out, one by one. The ad spend. And one final charge, I say. Night Owl Bistro, $92.50, 3:11 a.m. today. I have digital and video evidence placing the individual who made these charges at a location he was not authorized to be, conducting commercial activity with my card without my consent. I am initiating a full chargeback on all 18 transactions. Ma'am, the agent says, his voice changing. That's a serious allegation. We will need you to submit your evidence to the investigative unit. I have it, I say. It's compiled, time-stamped, and ready. Where do I send the file? I hang up. I lean back. My original plan, in plain view, was to expose the affair, to show the data, to reveal the lie. It's too small. Exposing an affair is domestic. It's messy. It's emotional. This is a crime. This is financial fraud, mail fraud, and illegal trespass. Darren's power is his image, his brand, the slick, trustworthy marketer who charms investors, the solid guy. He is terrified of being seen as what he is, a small-time grifter who steals credit from his sick fiancée. My objective has just been revised. I am not going to expose their relationship. I am going to expose their business. I will not unmask him in front of our families. I will unmask him in front of his clients, his investors, the entire professional world he is so desperate to impress. I add a new entry to my notebook. Revised objective. Not personal retribution. Public, professional, and financial consequences. Deplatform the fraud. My personal case file is firewalled, hashed, and locked. The immediate digital threats, the keycards, the MAC addresses, the fraudulent bank charges, are neutralized. The pain in my knee is a steady, hot reminder of the physical vulnerability that enabled this breach. But the fraud is the key. The financial and ethical violations. That is a language my world understands better than any emotional plea. And my world is Westvale Systems. At Westvale, we don't just sell secure data solutions, we sell trust. Our entire multi-billion-dollar valuation is built on a single, marketable concept: integrity. We even have a week for it. Every year. The first week of November is Integrity Week. It's our flagship internal event, a 5-day corporate Woodstock of ethics panels, compliance workshops, and values-based strategy sessions. It culminates in a massive, company-wide all-hands meeting, broadcast live from the atrium of our global headquarters to our 50,000 employees. It is the one time of year our CEO speaks about something other than quarterly earnings. He speaks about the Westvale way. I, as head of ethics and risk, am usually a key speaker. This year, I see the event schedule with new eyes. It is not a corporate obligation. It is an opportunity. It is a stage. It is the perfect, professionally lit, publicly recorded venue. I scan the draft agenda on my work laptop, my personal phone, containing the case file, dark on the desk beside me. My eyes catch on a new session for the final all hands, slotted just before the CEO's keynote. Session: The Human Side of Data, An Authentic Story. Description: A short film exploring how Westvale's values translate to real-world authenticity. Vendor: D. Cole Creative. My blood doesn't run cold. It becomes very, very still. D. Cole Creative. Darren, he'd mentioned weeks ago that he was in talks with our marketing team for a small-time vendor gig. I'd noted it, filed it away as a future conflict to manage if it ever materialized. It has materialized. He, the man who directed a behind-the-scenes reel of his own infidelity using my stolen credit, has been hired by my company to produce a video about authenticity, the sheer, breathtaking arrogance of it, the lack of any boundary, any self-awareness. He is a parasite, and he is trying to attach himself to my host. This is the vulnerability. This is his point of entry, and it will become his point of eviction. I must be flawless. My personal fury is irrelevant. My professional conduct must be a work of art. My first action is not to build my trap. It is to file my own compliance report. I must be cleaner than clean. I pick up my work phone and dial a 3-digit extension. Anya Sharma. Anya is our general counsel. She is sharp, efficient, and carries a pragmatic legal pessimism that I have always respected. Anya, it's Ava. Do you have 5 minutes? I need to formally disclose a potential conflict of interest. Potential? Her voice is already alert. With what? The Integrity Week. All hands. I see D. Cole Creative is listed as a video vendor. Yes, marketing brought them in. A small contract, under the 10K threshold. Why? Darren Cole is my fiancé, I state, the word feeling like ash in my mouth. As of this morning, that relationship is under review, but the conflict stands. I cannot be involved in any review, approval, or payment cycle associated with this vendor. There is a beat of silence on the line. Anya is processing. She is not a gossip. She is a lawyer. Understood, she says, her tone perfectly neutral. You're on the event planning committee. Are you on the approval chain for this specific deliverable? I was, I say. I need to be removed. Effective immediately. I want a formal minute entered. Ava Merritt recused from all matters pertaining to vendor D, Cole Creative, citing personal relationship conflict. Good call, Anya says. Smart. I'll have my admin process the change in the project charter and send you a confirmation. Consider yourself recused. Anything else? Actually, yes, I say, pivoting. This is the moment. It's related to the theme of the all hands. I think we're missing a session. We have Darren's human story piece, which is fine, but we need a counterbalance, a hard data piece. Go on. I'm proposing a new 10-minute lightning talk. Title, How Digital Trails Tell the Truth. We are a data company. Our employees are surrounded by IoT devices, smart building logs, and network access points. Every action creates a data point. I want to do a session on how this new reality is the ultimate arbiter of integrity. Anya is quiet for a moment. I can hear her tapping on her keyboard. You're talking about forensics, she says. I'm talking about accountability, I counter. I'm not talking about surveillance. I'm talking about the immutability of fact. How do we, as an ethics-driven company, reconcile he said, she said, in a world of the server log says? I won't use any Westvale data, of course, just generic principles. The data chain of custody, how a MAC address is a digital fingerprint, how a keycard log is a non-negotiable witness. Anya stops typing. That, she says slowly, is an excellent idea. It's muscular. It gives the integrity theme actual teeth. Darren's piece is all soft focus. This is the steel. Send me the one-paragraph proposal. I'll get it to the planning committee. I'll have it to you in 10 minutes, I say. Thank you. Anya. And Ava? Yes? I'll have that recusal confirmation sent to you, the event chair, and the head of accounts payable. You're completely firewalled. Good move. I hang up. I have reported the conflict. I have recused myself. My hands are clean. I am now just another employee, proposing a relevant session for a corporate event. I type up the proposal. It is a masterpiece of clinical, compelling corporate speak. Session proposal. The digital trail. Integrity in the age of immutable data. This 10-minute lightning talk will explore the new frontier of corporate and personal accountability in a world of smart devices, IoT sensors, and persistent network logs. The truth is no longer a matter of opinion, but a question of data. This session will deconstruct the anatomy of a digital footprint, demonstrating, using generic, non-company examples, how data chains of custody, from Wi-Fi connection logs and MAC addresses to building access records and delivery invoices, create an objective, verifiable timeline of actions. The key takeaway: integrity is not just what you say, it's what the log files prove. I send it to Anya. An hour later, an email chain lands in my inbox. The event committee loves it. This is sharp. Ava? Love this digital fingerprint angle. Very CSI, Westvale. And then, the email that makes my stomach clench with a cold. Pure satisfaction. It's from Darren, sent from his Cole creative@gmail.com address. He's been added to the planning chain. To Event Committee, Ava Merritt. Subject, Session Proposal. This is fantastic. Totally agree with the committee. This is the perfect hard-hitting counterpoint to my human story piece. The synergy is amazing. It's exactly the kind of viral content that will get people talking. Can't wait to see this. Ava, great idea. He doesn't see the trap. He is a marketer. He sees synergy. He sees viral content. He is so blinded by his own narrative of success. The successful startup, the female founder grant, the corporate video contract, that he cannot even conceive of a world where his data trail is the one being examined. He thinks I am the cold rule book girl. He cannot imagine I would ever be this bold. He has confirmed my diagnosis. His arrogance is the weapon I will use against him. I have one final piece of preparation, I cannot use my data. I cannot use my case file, but I can prepare the canvas. I open a message to the external AV production team, the subcontractors hired to run the actual show, the ones who build the graphics. I use an encrypted, anonymous email service. I do not identify myself. 2. AV project lead email. Subject: graphic asset pre-build for Integrity Week. All hands team. Per the event committee, we are adding a 10-min lightning talk titled The Digital Trail. The speaker will be providing the final content, but we need a look and feel established for the presentation graphics. Please pre-build generic, animated visualizations of the following data types: style, clean, forensic, like a high-tech data viz dashboard. Assets needed: 1. Animated graphic. Building access log. Timestamp. Unit, keycard ID. Event, access granted, denied. 2. Animated graphic. Wi-Fi router log. Timestamp, device name, MAC address. Event, authenticated connected. 3. Animated graphic. IoT sensor map. A floor plan, showing motion-detected pings in different rooms. 4. Animated graphic. Financial transaction. Timestamp, merchant, item, card holder, D and S. I pause on that last one. It's a small risk, but it's generic enough. I sign off with a generic handle. Westvale Event Ops. I hit send. I am not providing them with any evidence. I am simply ordering the graphic templates. I am teaching the audience the language. I am building the precise, empty containers for the truth. All I have to do is wait. A liar, given a big enough stage and a bright enough spotlight, will always find a way to tell on himself. And Darren, with his authentic story video, is about to walk right up to the microphone. The Integrity Week, all hands, is 10 days away. The corporate trap is set. My session is on the agenda, and the anonymous graphic request is with the AV team. Darren is firewalled from me professionally, but he is still, in his mind, my fiancé. He is an unsecured liability. Now, I must secure the physical and legal perimeter. My apartment, 14B, is the primary crime scene. My personal life is the loose end. I will spend the next 10 days hardening every surface, closing every loophole. This is not just about the event. It's about building a clean legal case so that when the fallout comes, I am untouchable. My first call is to Halcyon Court Building Management. This is Ava Merritt, 14B. I need to schedule a formal key handover. A handover. Ms. Merritt, are you moving out? No, I am handing over my spare key cards, including the guest card. 88B, which is now void. I am also requesting a physical lock recore for my unit's deadbolt. I will pay the fee. We can do that, but the key card is deactivated. I am handing it over, I state, my voice flat. I want a signed, itemized receipt from building management confirming you are in possession of all non-primary keys. I need a clean chain of custody for unit access. I will be down in 10 minutes. I place the gray key card, the one he used, into a clear plastic bag. I place my own spare in another. I hobble on my crutches to the management office. I sign the work order for the recore. The manager signs a receipt listing the serial numbers of the 2 cards. Checkpoint 1. Physical access to 14B by former key holders is now impossible. A third party has witnessed the transfer. My second stop is apartment 14C. My neighbor, Mr. Henderson, is a retired civil engineer. He is meticulous, quiet, and values order. Mr. Henderson, I say, standing at his door. Ms. Merritt, your knee, please, come in. I can't stay. I have an unusual request. I am in the middle of a sensitive domestic uncoupling. I do not anticipate trouble, but the other party may be unpredictable. He understands immediately. His posture straightens. I don't need you to intervene, I say quickly. I need an independent witness. If you hear any raised voices, any disturbance, or any attempt to force entry at my door, Would you be willing to simply step into the hall and make a note of the time and the individuals present? And perhaps call building security? Young lady, he says, his voice firm. You are describing a potential breach of the peace. I will not only witness it, I will document it, and I will be the first to call security. Thank you. Mr. Henderson, I am simply mitigating risk. You are being smart, he replies. Checkpoint 2. A neutral third-party witness is now on alert. I return to my apartment. The new deadbolt is being installed. The sound of the drill is loud. Final. It is time to poke the bear. I open my Westvale email. I write to Anya Sharma, our general counsel, and the Integrity Week Planning Committee. 2A. Sharma, Event Committee. CC, Accounts Payable. Subject, Urgent, Vendor Contract Review. D. Cole Creative. Team. Further to my formal recusal, I have been made aware of information that presents a significant ethical and reputational risk to Westvale Systems. Vendor D. Cole Creative. Darren Cole is, in my capacity as a private citizen, the subject of a pending formal fraud investigation regarding financial malfeasance and misrepresentation. This is no longer just a personal conflict of interest. This is a material ethics violation. As the company that hosts Integrity Week, proceeding with this vendor for a video on authenticity while he is under active fraud investigation constitutes a severe reputational exposure. I formally recommend we terminate the contract immediately, citing Section 4A of our Standard Vendor Agreement. Breach of ethical conduct. I have no further comment on this matter. I trust the legal and events teams will manage the termination. Ava. I do not include a single piece of my evidence. I do not mention Sable. I do not mention the affair. I use only the clinical, corporate language of risk. Financial malfeasance, ethical conduct, reputational exposure. I hit send. The response is instantaneous. A high-importance reply from Anya, sent 1 minute later. Ava, thank you. The committee agrees. We are exercising the termination clause. Legal is handling the notification. You are fully firewalled. Do not engage. I close my laptop. I wait. 90 minutes later. My personal phone buzzes. A text from Darren. The first in 2 days. Darren. They canceled the contract. Ava. What the hell did you do? Darren. This is my biggest gig. You just torpedoed it. Why? Darren. I'm coming over. We need to talk about this. This is insane. I watch the text bubbles populate. He is angry. He is arrogant. He thinks he still has access. I reply, my first direct communication since I saw the camera logs. Me. I am not available tonight. My access privileges for you at Halcyon Court have been revoked. Do not attempt to come here. Darren. Revoked? What is this? Westvale? You can't just revoke me. I'm your fiancé. I'm coming up. Me. You will not be able to. The keycard is deactivated and the locks are changed. You will be stopped by security as an unauthorized individual. If you prefer to discuss this, I am available tomorrow at 10:00 a.m. at the Blue Bottle Cafe on Main Street, in public. Darren. This is a joke. You're being hysterical. Turn off your work brain and talk to me. Just let me up. Me. 10 a.m., Main Street. That is the only option. He doesn't reply. He is processing. He has just hit a locked door he did not know existed. 10 minutes later, a new text from Sable. Sable. Ava, what is wrong with you? Darren is freaking out. Mom is calling me. Stop being so childish and just talk to him. You're blowing this all up. I look at her message. Childish, the word she uses when she doesn't get her way. I tap the message details. I toggle one switch. Send read receipts. I do not reply. I just let her see that I have read her words. Read. 3:14 p.m. The silence will be louder than any accusation. The next day, I manage the pain in my knee and take an Uber to my bank. I am not meeting a teller. I am meeting with the branch's fraud investigations manager. I place my thin black moleskin notebook on his desk. I place my laptop beside it. I am here to file a formal report, I say. This is not a simple chargeback. This is a documented case of financial fraud, misrepresentation, and identity theft. I open my laptop. I do not show him the videos. I do not mention the affair. That is irrelevant to the bank. I show him the 17 AD spend transactions. I show him the female founder grant app submitted PDF with my address listed as the business address. I show him the Sablex Darren Pitch V3 Final PDF, pitching my apartment as their studio. I show him the invoice Night Owl 3:11 a.m. PDF with the D&S signature. This is a pattern, I explain. They have established a fraudulent business entity, Sable Encoded, using my address. They have used my credit card as their seed capital. The D&S on this invoice are the two principals, Darren Cole and Sable Merritt. I have digital evidence placing them both at my residence without my authorization during the time of this 3:11 a.m. transaction. The manager is no longer a customer service representative. He is an investigator. He is typing fast. Ms. Merritt, this is a very clean portfolio, he says. This is exactly what we need. I am a risk analyst, I say. This is what I do. We are opening a formal investigation, effective immediately. We will, of course, reverse the charges, but this may escalate. The grant application, that's mail fraud. They are using your address to secure funding. I understand, I say. I want the investigation to be thorough. Checkpoint 3. A formal financial fraud investigation is now open. This is no longer a he said, she said dispute. It is a bank matter. When I return, an email is waiting for me from Halcyon Court Management. Subject: Official Notice of Lease Violation, 14B. Dear Ms. Merritt, following your request for logs, our audit team has confirmed a violation of Section 7.3, Guests, and 7.4, Breach, on October 24th. Your keycard logs show a registered guest, Darren Cole, facilitating entry for an unregistered, non-resident individual, Sable Merritt, who remained on premises. The email goes on. It is a formal written warning. It is a black mark, but one I have gladly accepted. It is the legal proof. Checkpoint 4. The trespass and lease breach are now an official documented record in the building's files. There is one last piece of hardware to install. That evening, a technician I hired installs a smart doorbell camera. It has a 180-degree field of view, cloud-based recording, and real-time motion alerts linked to my phone. I test the settings. I activate the highest sensitivity recording. I enable push notifications. I link it to my new location-aware home security protocol. My phone will now alert me if Darren or Sable approaches the building. The trap is set. The perimeter is secure. The legal foundations are laid. I look at my digital calendar for the day of the Integrity Week All Hands. The event is blocked out in corporate blue. 9 o'clock A. 12:00 p.m. All hands. Atrium. Inside the block, I create a small, private note. Datex. Objective: not anger. Just turn on the lights. The 40th floor atrium at Westvale Systems is a cathedral of modern capitalism. 4 stories of glass and white-painted steel frame a panoramic view of the city. The light is bright, white, and unforgiving. Hundreds of employees are seated. Thousands more are watching the live stream. The words Integrity Week are projected onto a massive screen. The MC, a polished VP from marketing, is on stage. My session is next. I am seated in the front row, as a speaker. My crutches are resting beside my chair. My knee is stable. My pulse is 60 BPM. And now, the MC says, his voice tight. He's clearly been thrown. A last-minute adjustment to our schedule. Please welcome Darren Cole of D. Cole Creative to present his short film, Truth Heals. I close my eyes for 1 second. I knew it. He talked his way back in. My termination request 10 days ago had created a crisis for the event team. They had a 10-minute hole. Darren, the consummate marketer, must have called them. full of charm and apologies. It was all a personal misunderstanding with Ava. A lover's quarrel. I'm not going to let her ruin this for you. The film is done. It's my best work. Let me show it. I'll take full responsibility. And they, desperate and spineless, had agreed. He is arrogance incarnate. Darren jogs onto the stage. He is wearing his founder outfit. A sharp blazer, expensive t-shirt, dark jeans. He flashes his perfect, trustworthy smile at the audience. He avoids my gaze. Thank you. Thank you. It's an honor to be here. At Westvale. You talk about integrity. My film is about authenticity, about living your truth, even when it's hard. He gestures to the tech booth. Let's roll the film. The lights dim, the music swells. His logo appears. D. Cole Creative. The film starts. It's slick. Shots of diverse, authentic people. Soft focus interviews. And then, 1 minute in, a new segment begins. Authenticity means being real. Darren's voiceover says, even in the B-roll moments of life, we wanted to show you real footage, unfiltered, unplanned. The screen cuts. It is a shot of a dark, high-end apartment corridor. My breath stops. It is the Halcyon Court. It is the camera feed from KMC 14. The timestamp is visible in the corner. 1:17 a.m. Two figures appear, a man and a woman. Sometimes, Darren's voiceover continues. Truth happens at 1:17 in the morning. The figures are blurry, silhouetted. It's almost anonymous. It's the B-roll he must have pulled from the building before I did. But then the film cuts again, to a new shot, an artistic clip, filmed on an iPhone, a woman's hand, Sable's hand, raising a champagne flute, a close-up of a box of truffle fries, a shot of two shadows, laughing, against a glass wall. He is intercutting the security footage with the B-roll he and Sable filmed inside my apartment. He thinks this is art. He thinks he is a genius. Then, the fatal mistake. The video cuts back to the security feed. The elevator. 6:44 The two figures exit. The man, Darren, the woman, Sable. And for 2 seconds, just before the artistic blur effect kicks in, they are perfectly, clearly visible, unmasked. Sable, in my cashmere robe, Darren, kissing her. A gasp ripples through the atrium. People are looking at each other. They are confused. Did you see? Was that? Who were those people? And that, Darren's voiceover concludes, over a shot of a sunrise, is what living your truth looks like. The film ends. The lights come up. Darren is standing there, smiling, basking in what he believes is stunned admiration. He thinks the gasp was impact. Thank you, he says, his voice brimming with fake emotion. The MC steps up, looking pale. He's looking at his cue cards, desperate. Thank you, Darren. Powerful piece. The audience is murmuring, not applauding. This is the moment. I raise my hand. The MC spots me in the front row. He looks relieved to see the next scheduled speaker. Ava, yes, our next speaker. Our own head of ethics and risk, Ava Merritt. He motions for me to come to the stage. I stand, pick up my crutches, and walk calmly to the lectern. I do not look at Darren, who is still preening by the side of the stage. Triumphant, I plug in my laptop. The screen behind me switches from his logo to my title slide. The digital trail. Integrity in the age of immutable data. Good morning, I say. My voice is perfectly even. It cuts through the murmuring. My colleague's film raises an excellent point. Authenticity, truth. But at a data company like Westvale, we believe truth isn't just a feeling. It is a verifiable, immutable, digital fact. I click to the next slide. Behind me, the graphic that the AV team built appears. A mock-up of a building access log. Generic log. Building access, 1:17 a.m. Unit, redacted. Keycard, redacted. Event, access granted. A digital trail begins at the door. I say, A keycard log. It has no opinion. It just states the fact, who entered, and when. Darren, at the side of the stage, has stopped smiling. He is watching me, a look of dawning confusion on his face. I click again. The next graphic appears. A mock-up of a Wi-Fi router log. Generic log. Network connection 1:18 a.m. Device, redacted. MAC, redacted. Event, authenticated. 1 minute later, I continue. A device connects to the private Wi-Fi network. A MAC address is a unique digital fingerprint. It cannot be faked. It proves, with zero doubt, who was on that network. I glance at Darren. He is frozen. I click again. The next graphic. The IoT sensor map. Generic log. IoT sensor activity. 2:03 a.m. Zone. Master bedroom. Event. Motion detected. Continuous. The trail moves inside, I say. Smart sensors. They log activity. Where it happened. When it happened. What time the microphone was muted. The blood is draining from Darren's face. He knows these numbers. I click again. The final graphic. The financial transaction. Generic log. Financial transaction. 11. Merchant. Night Owl Bistro. Cardholder. D-Go and S. Status. Approved. The trail is confirmed by financial records. A 311A. Food order. Signed not by one person, but two. D and S. A partnership. The atrium is dead silent. You can hear the air conditioning. I click back to my title slide. My presentation was supposed to be about a generic scenario, I say, my voice calm, but projecting to the back wall. But I don't need to. Our previous speaker just provided us with a real-world case study. I nod to the tech booth. Please, play the security footage from Mr. Cole's film again. Just the first clip. 1:17 a.m. The tech, looking terrified. Does it? The Halcyon Court corridor appears on the giant screen. I superimpose my first graphic. The data. 1:17 a.m. Access granted clicks into place over the video. A perfect match. Now the second clip. 6:44 a.m. The elevator footage plays. Darren and Sable. Kissing. I nod to the booth. My presentation clicks forward. Superimposing all my data. 1:17 a.m. Access granted. D. Cole. 1:18 a.m. Wi-Fi connect. D. Cole's iPhone. 1:18 a.m. Wi-Fi connect. S. Merritt's laptop. 2:03 a.m. Bedroom sensor activity. 3:11 a.m. Food order D and S. 6:42 a.m. Access exit D. Cole. This, I say, is a digital trail. It does not show a moment of authenticity. It shows a 5-hour coordinated, unauthorized entry. It shows a building lease violation. And it shows the fraudulent use of a credit card. My credit card, at my apartment, while I was home, recovering from surgery. A collective gasp. I look at Darren. He is gray. That's illustrative B-roll, he stammers, grabbing a microphone. It's a mock-up. It's not real. Ava, you can't. The footage is real. Darren, I say, my voice dropping. You said it yourself. Real footage, and you were right. It is the real, certified footage from Halcyon Court, my building, the building you are now banned from. In the back of the atrium, near the exit, I see a flash of caramel-colored hair. Sable. She had been standing there, watching. She turns and bolts through the fire exit. You can't. Darren is sputtering. This is private. This is... The music from his film, which had been softly playing, cuts to silence. A new figure is walking onto the stage. Anya Sharma, our general counsel. She is holding a microphone. Mr. Cole, Anya says, and her voice is ice. This is not a private matter. This is a Westvale Systems Integrity Week, all hands. She turns to the audience. For the record, Westvale Systems terminated Mr. Cole's contract 10 days ago due to a formal notification of ethical violations and financial malfeasance. His presence here is unauthorized. She turns back to him. You have just publicly broadcasted security footage from a private residence, without authorization, for commercial gain. That is a flagrant, illegal use of resident imagery. Security is on their way to escort you from the premises. We will see you in court. I did not wait for applause. I nodded once to Anya, picked up my crutches, and walked off the stage. The 40th floor atrium was utterly silent. No one was looking at Darren, who was being flanked by 2 building security guards in quiet gray suits. Everyone was looking at me. Their faces were not pitiful. They were stunned. They were respectful. They had just witnessed a live, clinical execution of a risk assessment. The MC was stammering into the microphone. We will be taking a 10-minute break." The massive Integrity Week screen behind him flickered to black. The live stream was cut. By the time I reached the elevator, my work phone was vibrating. It was an email from Anya Sharma, our general counsel. Subject, legal hold. Integrity Week, all hands recording, to Ava Merritt, CC, head of IT security, event committee chair. Ava, the complete, unedited recording of today's all hands, 9:00 a.m., 10:14 a.m., has been secured by IT and placed under legal hold. It will be retained for all pending internal and external legal purposes. Well done, Anya. This was point 3 on my original outline. Now confirmed. The evidence was no longer just mine, it was a corporate asset. I bypassed my office and took a car straight back to Halcyon Court. As I crossed the lobby, the manager I had spoken to 10 days prior, Mr. Graves, stepped out of his office. He held a single-page document. "Ms. Merritt," he said, his voice discreet. "We were made aware of the incident. A feed of your company's broadcast was sent to our corporate legal team by one of your colleagues." He handed me the paper. It was an official notice. Notice of permanent ban, effective immediately. 10:30 a.m., November 4th, 2024. The individuals known as Darren Cole and Sable Merritt are hereby permanently banned from all Halcyon Court properties, including all common areas and guest access zones. Any attempt to enter the premises will be treated as criminal trespass. A copy of this notice has been provided to the 14th Precinct. "Thank you. Mr. Graves," I said. "Please ensure all front desk and security staff have their photos." "Already done, Ms. Merritt," he replied. This was point 2. The physical perimeter was secure. Once inside 14B, my newly record, secure apartment, I opened my personal laptop. My inbox was a cascade of notifications. The first was from my bank's fraud department. The agent I had met with, Mr. Singh, had sent a high-importance email. Subject, escalation, fraud investigation, case 991F. Dear Ms. Merritt, our team was also alerted to the public broadcast from your employer this morning. The public admission of presence by Mr. Cole, correlated with the video evidence you provided, has allowed us to escalate this case from dispute to active fraud investigation. The 18 transactions, totaling $1,742.50, have been temporarily refunded to your account. We are now pursuing full recovery from the merchant accounts associated with D. Cole Creative and Sable & Kodo. We are also submitting a formal report to the relevant credit bureaus regarding the fraudulent business activity linked to your address. Thank you for your meticulous documentation. Signature. This was point 1. The financial clawback was in motion. The next email was from a senior VP in my own division at Westvale, a man I respected. Subject, today Ava. I have no words. What I just witnessed was the single most devastating and professional display of integrity I have ever seen. I have already fielded 2 calls from VPs at competitor A and client B. Darren Cole was, apparently, in final round talks with both of them for brand authenticity contracts. He is no longer. The video of your presentation is already being shared on internal Slacks. You are the only thing anyone is talking about. The dominoes are not just falling, they have been vaporized. This was point 4. His career, the one he was building on my credit and my reputation, was over before lunch. Now, it was time for my own outgoing actions. The cleanup protocol. I opened a fresh document. This was not a text. This was not an email. This was a formal notice. I telephoned the law firm I had placed on retainer last week. "This is Ava Merritt," I said. "I am activating your services. I need you to draft and send a formal cease and desist letter via certified mail to this individual, at this address." I gave them Sable's details. The letter is to demand the following: immediate cessation of all use of my address, 14B Halcyon Court, on any and all business, financial, or grant applications. Immediate removal of all images and video featuring the interior or likeness of my apartment from all social media feeds, pitch decks, and commercial materials. A formal notice that any attempt to contact me, my employer, or my building management will be considered harassment. The lawyer on the other end was efficient. And the basis? Fraud, identity theft, and trespass, I replied. I am sending you the complete, hashed case file now. It includes a pending bank investigation and a police report I am about to file. We will have the letter sent within the hour. Ms. Merritt. This was point 5. As if on cue, my phone lit up with a text message. It was the Merritt family group chat. My mother, Ava. I am hearing things. Sable is hysterical. She isn't making any sense. Darren's mother called me, crying. What did you do? This is a family matter. You need to stop this, right now, and talk to them like an adult. I looked at the message. Talk like an adult. My fingers were steady on the screen. Me. Adults know where to put their signature. My address is not their business address. My credit card is not their seed capital. This is not a family matter. It is a fraud case. Do not contact me about this again. I exited the group chat. I archived it. This was point 6. Next, Darren. He was, technically, still my fiancé. I would correct that. I drafted a second letter. This one would be sent from me, also via certified mail. 2. Darren Cole. Subject: termination of engagement and demand for property. Darren. This letter serves as formal, written notification that our personal and financial engagement is terminated, effective immediately. As you know, the engagement ring, 2 carat, VVS1. Asher Cut Diamond, GIA serial, is an insured asset listed on my personal property rider. Your failure to return it within 48 hours of this notice will be classified as theft and reported as such to both the 14th Precinct and my insurance carrier, who will then pursue you for its full monetary value, $32,000. Attached is a full, itemized invoice for all personal funds you and your business partner, Sable Merritt, misappropriated, 18 transactions, plus the $92.50. Night Owl Bistro charge. My bank is already handling this. All further communication must go through my legal counsel. Their contact information is enclosed. Ava Merritt. This was point 7. I looked at the clock. 2:15 p.m. It had been a busy morning. I had one call left to make. I dialed the non-emergency number for the 14th Precinct. Desk Sergeant, 14th Precinct. How can I help you? Hello? My name is Ava Merritt. I need to schedule an appointment to file a formal report for unauthorized entry, criminal trespass, and financial misrepresentation. I have a complete file of certified digital evidence, including authenticated video, keycard logs, network logs, and a pending bank fraud investigation. There was a pause. The sergeant was clearly not used to this. Ma'am, you have all that? Ready to go? I do, I said. When is the next available slot with a detective in the Financial Crimes Division? This was point 8. Finally, I sat back at my desk. The last phase, lockdown. I spent the next hour methodically changing every password I owned: bank accounts, social media, utilities. I changed my primary bank account numbers, the ones linked to my direct deposit from Westvale. I deleted and blocked Darren, Sable, and my mother on every platform. I set all my social media profiles to fully private. I reviewed the settings on my new doorbell camera. Cloud storage, enabled. Motion alerts, high sensitivity. My apartment was a fortress. My digital life was a vault. My professional life was firewalled. This was point 9. The consequences were not just in motion, they were complete. All that was left was the echo. It is 9:14 p.m. The city is a grid of distant, silent lights through my window. The apartment is still, secure. The only sound is the low hum of the air purifier. My work is done. The police report is filed. The legal notices are sent. Then, a notification on my phone, not a buzz, a specific 3-pulse chime. Doorbell. Front door. Motion detected. I tap the alert. The smart doorbell camera feed fills my screen in high definition. They are here. Darren is standing directly in front of the camera. He is holding a large, ridiculous bouquet of white flowers. He looks terrible. His founder blazer is wrinkled. His face pale and unshaven. Behind him, half hidden, is Sable. She is wearing dark sunglasses, even though it is pitch black in the corridor. She is hugging herself, her caramel hair a mess. They are a portrait of chaos. Darren raises his hand to knock, before his knuckle can touch the wood. I press the talk button on the app. My voice, amplified by the speaker, cuts into the hallway. You are on a recorded line. You are being filmed. They both flinch. A sudden, sharp jolt. They look around, confused, for the source of the sound. Ava? Darren's voice is strained. Ava, please, just open the door. We need to talk to you. This is... I am not opening the door. Darren, I say, my voice as flat as the glass on my phone. You are on the Halcyon Court banned list. Your presence on this floor is criminal trespass. Ava, please, he says. He is desperate. I'm not here to fight. I'm here to return your things. Leave the items at the door, I instruct. Then leave the floor. Darren looks at Sable. She is vibrating, her hand over her mouth. He nods, defeated. He steps forward, placing the flowers by the doormat. Then he takes a small, square jeweler's box from his pocket. He doesn't just place it down. He kneels. It is a pathetic, desperate echo of a proposal. He kneels and places the box on the floor. The ring is in there, he says, his voice thick. I'm so sorry. Ava, And the receipt, I state. It is not a question. He winces. From his other pocket, he pulls a folded piece of paper. It's the official chargeback notification from my bank. He places it next to the ring box, a small, white flag of his complete surrender. We messed up. Ava, he whispers at the camera. I messed up so badly. Suddenly, Sable lurches forward. She rips the sunglasses off. Her face is a mess of tear-streaked makeup. We slipped. It was a mistake, she cries. The Vietnamese word from our childhood. We made a mistake. Our hands slipped, sounding alien and desperate. We made a mistake. It was a mistake. Ava, please, forgive me. She steps closer. Her hands pressed together as if in prayer. Don't do this. I'm afraid of losing you. You're my sister. My sister. This is her final, nuclear option. The appeal to a bond she herself set on fire. She is trying to find the fixer. She is looking for the warranty department. I take a slow breath. I look at her. A digital image on my screen. A fraud case in my files. I am not an emotional bank. Sable, I say, and my voice is cold, clear, and final. I am not here to forgive your debt. I pause. Today, I am only accepting returns. Sable's face crumples. The hope, the manipulative energy, just drains away, leaving her looking small and empty. Darren stands up, wiping his face. He looks lost. Ava, we can fix this. I can fix this. If you just… Ding! The sound is loud in the corridor. The elevator doors at the end of the hall slide open. 2 figures step out, not residents. They are wearing the sharp, dark blue uniforms of Halcyon Court's night security. Mr. Henderson must have called, or my own security protocol, which flags unauthorized individuals lingering at my door. Triggered a call to the front desk. It doesn't matter. The system is working. The 2 guards walk toward them. They do not run. They are calm. Professional. Mr. Cole? Ms. Merritt? The first guard says. His voice polite but firm. Darren and Sable turn, looking trapped. You 2 are on the banned access list. You are not permitted on this floor. You need to come with us. Now. No, wait, Darren says, holding up his hands. He turns back to my door, to the camera. Ava, wait, just talk to me. We can… The elevator doors, which had been closing, slide shut. The mechanism cuts off his last word. The corridor is empty again, save for the flowers, the ring box, and the receipt. I watch the feed for another 30 seconds. Silence. I swipe up, closing the app. I pick up my crutches and pivot, facing the smart doorbell camera mounted inside my apartment, the one that records the interior. I look directly into its lens. Case closed. The next morning, the 40th floor atrium is packed. Word has spread. The session, originally titled The Digital Trail, has been hastily renamed in the program to Case Study, Accountability and Practice. Anya Sharma introduces me. She doesn't mention yesterday. She just says my name. I walk to the lectern on my crutches. The room is so quiet, I can hear the air vents. I am not presenting to colleagues. I am presenting to witnesses. I do not retell the story. I do not show the videos. The data is already public. Instead, I present the process, the framework. Integrity is not a feeling, I say, my voice steady, amplified. It is a protocol. It is a system of verifiable checks and balances. It is a firewall that must be maintained. I talk for exactly 10 minutes. I deconstruct the case, not the crime. I talk about immutable logs, third-party certification, and the legal framework of contractual boundaries. I use clinical, detached language. I do not say Darren, I say the unauthorized vendor. I do not say Sable, I say the unregistered co-conspirator. I do not say my apartment. I say the compromised asset. I reach my final slide. It is all white, with 3 lines of black text, boundaries, evidence, peace. I look out at the audience, at the VPs, the analysts, the new hires. I look at Anya, who is nodding slowly. The purpose of an audit, I conclude, is not to punish. It is to restore order. It is to close the vulnerability, secure the asset, and return the system to a state of integrity. Thank you. I press the button, and the screen goes black. I close my laptop. For a full 3 seconds, there is absolute silence. Then, someone in the back starts to clap. It is not a polite, corporate applause. It is a slow, rolling, powerful ovation. It builds, one person after another, until the entire atrium is on its feet. The sound of their hands echoes off the glass and steel, a percussive, definitive, overwhelming validation. It is not pity, it is respect. I nod once, I pick up my crutches and walk off the stage. By the time I get to my office on the 39th floor, 2 new emails are waiting. The first, from my bank. Subject, case 900F. Resolved. Dear Ms. Merritt, following our final review, the temporary refunds have been made permanent. The fraud case is now closed in your favor. Your address has been disassociated from all fraudulent accounts. The second, from Halcyon Court Management. Subject, for your records. Dear Ms. Merritt, attached is the finalized, Signed copy of the permanent trespass notice for your records. This notice has been filed with our corporate legal and the 14th precinct. I download both PDFs. I move them into the case file. 14B 2024 124 container. I right-click, archive folder. My phone buzzes. The Merritt family group chat. My mother. Again, Ava. Your father and I are driving down. You cannot just cut your sister out. We are going to fix this as a family. I look at the message. Fix this. I am done fixing things. I type my last message to them. I'm safe. That's the whole story. I do not hit send. I just look at it. Then I delete the message, untyped. I simply tap leave group. No threats, no promises, no victory lap. I open my notifications panel. I press and hold. Notifications. Silenced. In the bottom drawer of my desk, I have a new pair of running shoes. My physical therapist cleared me for light impact exercise yesterday. I untie the stiff, sterile white shoes I've been wearing. I slip my feet into the new, flexible mesh. I tie the laces, a double knot, firm, secure. I stand up. I leave the crutches leaning against the wall. My office door is open. The bright, high noon sunlight is streaming in, cutting a sharp, clean rectangle onto the floor. I take one step, then another. My knee holds. My final thought. For myself and myself only. I didn't get revenge. I returned the truth. In public. Fade to black. Cut. Thank you so much for listening to this story. We'd love to know where you're tuning in from. So drop a comment below and let's connect. Please be sure to subscribe, like the video, and if you enjoyed this story, support us by hitting that hype button. It really helps get the story out to more listeners.